Did you ever imagine North Korean soldiers might end up fighting on European soil? And could this decision bring the war in Ukraine to a whole new, dangerous level? The implications of such a move could be far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. In a shocking twist, the Pentagon reports that approximately 10,000 North Korean soldiers have been deployed to Russia. This unexpected move has sent shockwaves through the international community. Originally estimated at just 3,000, these numbers have more than tripled, indicating a significant escalation in military cooperation between North Korea and Russia. Analysts are scrambling to understand the strategic objectives behind this deployment. Are these troops there to provide direct military support, or are they involved in training exercises? Stay with us as we explore what this deployment means, delving into the potential motivations behind North Korea's decision to send such a large contingent of troops to Russia. North Korean soldiers aren't just training in Russia. According to the Pentagon, they're moving towards the Ukrainian border. This is Russia's Kursk region, now a flashpoint in the conflict, where these North Korean troops may soon enter combat, aiding Russian forces against Ukraine. But how exactly does North Korea's involvement benefit Russia, and what is Kim Jong-un hoping to achieve by sending his troops halfway across the world? The presence of North Korean troops in this volatile region raises numerous questions about the geopolitical implications. Analysts suggest that this move could be a strategic maneuver by Russia to bolster its military strength. Meanwhile, North Korea might be seeking to gain favor with Russia, potentially securing economic or military aid in return. The international community watches closely, as this development could shift the balance of power in the ongoing conflict. International leaders are calling this deployment a dangerous escalation. The global community is on high alert, with many nations expressing their concerns over the potential ramifications of this move. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol condemned what he labeled as illegal military cooperation, emphasizing that such actions destabilize the region and violate international norms. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte issued a strong warning, stating that North Korea's involvement represents a significant threat to global security. He urged member states to remain vigilant and to strengthen their defensive postures. Rutte highlighted the potential for increased tensions and the risk of a broader conflict if these actions go unchecked. He called for a coordinated international response to mitigate these risks. Many experts are concerned about how North Korea's support for Russia could impact Asia. Japan and Australia, among other Indo-Pacific nations, view this move as a potential threat to regional stability. South Korean news agency Yonhap reported that President Yoon Suk-yeol urged his cabinet to assess all possibilities and prepare countermeasures. This situation extends beyond the war in Ukraine. It's fueling unease across the entire Indo-Pacific region. ASEAN countries are also closely monitoring the developments, with India increasing its naval patrols and China conducting military exercises. Economically, the tensions could disrupt trade routes and impact markets, adding another layer of complexity to the region's stability. As citizens across the Indo-Pacific watch the news with growing concern, regional security forces remain on high alert, ready to respond to any escalation. Why would Russia turn to North Korea for troops? Russia's defense minister Sergei Lavrov has hinted at why. The alliance offers mutual benefits. North Korea gains leverage and visibility on the global stage, while Russia gains manpower at a time when it's struggling to maintain gains on the battlefield. This cooperation could shift the balance of power, providing Russia with the necessary support to bolster its military efforts. As the conflict continues, the strategic partnership between these two nations could have far-reaching implications for global security. But is this just the beginning of a deeper partnership? Lavrov went so far as to remind NATO that Western military instructors have long been aiding Ukrainian forces. This raises questions about the future dynamics between these nations and the potential for increased collaboration or conflict. While Russia claims North Korean soldiers are in Russia for training, the situation is more complex and potentially dangerous. Their presence has raised concerns among international observers about global security and stability. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh are taking these reports seriously. Austin has stressed the importance of monitoring the situation closely, while Singh has highlighted the potential risks involved. Singh stated that if North Korean soldiers move closer to combat zones, the U.S. might consider them co-belligerents, meaning they would be active combatants in the conflict. This could escalate the conflict, drawing in more nations and increasing the likelihood of a broader war. The stakes are high, and the international community is watching closely. Putin has been carefully building alliances to counter Western influence, hosting leaders from China, India, and other BRICS nations just last week. And now, with Iran already supplying drones and North Korea stepping in with troops, we're witnessing the formation of a powerful anti-West bloc. Could this shift the balance of global power? With these alliances solidifying, the geopolitical landscape is changing. Joint military exercises and parades showcase their growing unity. Analysts are closely watching these developments as news headlines highlight the emerging anti-West bloc. Ukraine's leadership has been vocal about the threat, with Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha insisting that allies should lift restrictions on long-range strikes within Russia to counter this new threat. Meanwhile, Zelensky claimed that North Korean troops could be on the battlefield within days. How will NATO and its allies respond to this unprecedented challenge? Ukraine is ramping up its defenses, preparing for any potential escalation. The international community is watching closely, with many calling for increased support for Ukraine. On the ground, Ukrainian citizens are mobilizing, showing resilience and unity in the face of adversity. Adding to the urgency, the upcoming U.S. presidential election could see a change in America's support for Ukraine, particularly if Donald Trump wins and chooses to scale back military aid. This potential shift is leaving Ukraine on edge as it faces growing Russian pressure in the eastern Donetsk region. The election's outcome could redefine the geopolitical landscape and significantly impact the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. With the stakes so high, both nations are closely watching the election results. The future of U.S. involvement in Ukraine hangs in the balance. This sudden alliance between North Korea and Russia raises so many questions, with the potential to reshape the global order and intensify conflicts both in Europe and Asia. North Korean troops in Ukraine, an unimaginable scenario just months ago, is now a reality we may need to face. The implications of this development are profound, and the world watches closely as events unfold. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the geopolitical landscape is changing rapidly. So what do you think? Could this growing alliance between North Korea and Russia mark the start of a new world order? And how will the West respond to this new front in the Ukraine conflict? Share your thoughts in the comments below and engage in the conversation.